Tune in most days of the week, and he'll be there schooling some ignorant creep, or catch him on a gaming whim. But this ain't a game to him. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. So join Jovan and get your critical cap on. There's a Bradley's baddie inside of me and you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to stream. Welcome to stream. Hi, how are you? Hey, how are you? It is I, your fearless leader, Jovan. Welcome in, welcome in. If you guys liked that intro, that's a big W to Grace. Grace is the artist I've been working with for the last couple months. Grace Doodles on Instagram. As far as I know, their commissions are open. So you can message, you could shout out to them if you want to get an animated something of your own. Did you guys like it? Did you like that? Did you like that? Should we watch it one more time? We can watch it one more time. Should we watch it one more time? Just should it play one more time? I liked it, you know, just throwing that out there. I enjoyed it. Man, how behind is YouTube stream right now? YouTube stream looks super behind. No, they're not that behind. Let's just one more time. Let's do it one more time, okay?
Tune in most days of the week, and he'll be there schooling some ignorant creep, or catch him on a gaming whim. But this ain't a game to him. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. You could be a Bradley's baddie too. So join Jovan and get your critical cap on. There's a Bradley's baddie inside of me and you.
Oh, I was muted. God damn it. Anyway, welcome to stream. My name is Jovan. I am here to debate 219-327-8005 if you disagree with any of the topics on the board. Those topics include topic number 1, trans men and women are men and women. Topic number 2, there's no compelling external evidence for Christianity. Topic number 3, gender affirming care for minors. Topic number 4, MAGA is a fascist movement. Topic number 5, MAGA are uneducated and or bad people. Those are the topics today. If you disagree with any of those, call in 219-327-8005. Pillow is standing by to screen. How have you guys been? How was your weekend? I'm sorry you got no debate content from me, but I was playing Resident Evil all weekend, and I still want to go play Resident Evil. I don't want to be debating right now. All I want to do is play Resident Evil, but I kind of figured I got to debate. Hey, if you want to support the stream, there's a few ways to do that. But before I tell you, let me peep out some of our supporters so far today. First of all, Sharp, Citri, and Blue Pen, Purple Pen, thank you for being first in chat today. Trans Dreamland, thank you for resubscribing for 6 months at tier 1 over on Twitch. Canadian Goose, thank you for resubscribing for 7 months at tier 1. It looks like he asked a question. Why your argument on the Where has to do with the legality of it? We all know that Trump doesn't care about the law, neither do those who still support him. Wouldn't it be better to kind of come at it from a more moral perspective? Yes and no. The problem is it is moral to oust the Ayatollah, right? Getting rid of the Ayatollah. What the hell? Getting rid of the Ayatollah is a good thing. So you have to come at it from a couple of different angles. I think it is good to talk about like the legality of it, because I think like it probably shouldn't be legal for a country to attack another country, right? Sharp, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Midnight Rose, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Yo, if you guys want to support the show, there's a few ways to do that. First of all, you can send super chats. Super chats are a great way to support the show. Speaking of which, we got a super chat from our good friend William. William said, "This is for your birthday. Use it irresponsibly. You're not allowed to make good decisions with it." Hey, my birthday is in 9 days. So if you want to support Jovan's birthday, if you want to buy me a drink, I don't drink, but I will buy like a Yoo-hoo. Cash App and Venmo are on the side or down below wherever you're watching. So if you wanted to support the birthday festivities, you can always do it that way. That would be cool. You don't have to, obviously, but if you wanted to, that's a way to do it. One second. How's the music? Is it too loud? Gonna get up to some wild shenanigans with this $10. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, William, for the super chat. We absolutely are going to get into some wild shit with this $10 here. Anything that you support the stream does go to our goals. If we hit a goal today, I'm willing to give out some merch. So if you want to win some merch, we got to hit some goals. That's the way. Anyone in the chat who's saying yuck to Yoo-hoo, I have thoughts on that. Those thoughts being, how dare you? Unless you guys don't want me to have a good birthday, that's fine too. I don't need to have a good birthday. Midnight Rose, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Lord Richmond, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Book club was a success. So we're going to have another book club. I just got to figure out what book we're going to read for book club number 2. There's someone in Twitch chat asking if you can add communism. They're actively debating someone on Reddit. I wanted to send a person. They can call in. I won't add it, but if they want to call in about it, that's fine. How to join book club? You have to be in the Discord, which is for paid supporters on either YouTube or Twitch. If you're a paid supporter, you get to join us for book club. Book club was great. I was, first of all, happy with how many of you guys read the book. So that was awesome. Anyone who's talking shit about Yoo-hoo, you're wrong. Now, I will concede on one thing. Yoo-hoo is gross if you drink it and it's not ice cold. Yoo-hoo has to be ice cold. Otherwise, it's disgusting. Otherwise, it's the worst. Guys, you don't actually have to send me money for my birthday. I'm just being an asshole. We read this. We read Black Shirts and Reds, Radical Fascism and the Overthrow of Communism. Great book. Talks a lot about the propaganda that the West influenced over communist and socialist states. So it was a great book. Why not just drink real chocolate milk? Chocolate milk makes me sick. I don't know what it is. Regular chocolate milk makes me sick. Like literally it makes me want to throw up. But we'll have another book club. I'm thinking this time I'm debating doing Stamped from the Beginning, because we can read it, discuss it, and then watch the documentary. We've watched the documentary before, but like this could be good to do it as like a discussion piece. It'd be nice if book club incorporated like other forms of media too. Like when we read a book, we then watched a documentary on like the subject. Are you lactose intolerant? No, I drink a lot of milk. I can also see what Verso dropped today. So I have a Verso membership. If you don't have Verso and you're a leftist, you're missing out. Verso is a book publisher, and for $10 a month, you get their book club, which drops new ebooks every month. It is low key the best. So this month they dropped, here's the books that we just got dropped. Women, Resistance, and Revolution, A History of Women in Revolution in the Modern World. The Story of Capital, What Everyone Should Know About How Capital Works. The Problem of Personhood, Giving Rights to Trees, Corporations, and Robots. Repetition, a novel. The Alibi of Capital, How We Broke the Earth to Seal the Future on the Promise of a Better Tomorrow. And Architecture Against Architecture, a Manifesto. Those are the books from this year. Our month, from this month. So if you like theory, dude. If you like theory, Verso is the way to go, dude. So yeah, 219-327-8005. We'll be here looking for callers. If anybody wants to debate, call in. We're just rocking 5 topics today. We may add a 6th if I feel froggy, and then I'll leap. It's no longer anti-white nonsense month. Now it's anti-man nonsense month. So happy Women's Month to all our women in chat. Is it an app? No, it's like they send you ebooks, so you can download them on like anything. Like you can put them on your Kindles or your iPads. I always put them on my iPad. The iPad's coming back. The whiteboard, the digital whiteboard is on its way back. I just have to figure out a good way to make it look. But the iPad is back plugged in and sat on my desk, so I can start doing the digital whiteboard again. Once I figure out best way for it to look, we're gonna rock with that. MAGA are all deceitful rats. Damn. That's crazy. Not gonna lie, I did get tired of systemic racism debates. I hate debating it because it's just full of clowns. I hate debating a topic where I give mountains of data and people just go, So I'm like, fuck off, dude. Indeed. Yo, Resident Evil 9, I stopped playing it on stream. I'm so sorry to anybody that was watching me play. They did something crazy that I don't know that I like. It was really cool, and like had to hit a real good high, and then I was like, it's like, I don't know that I like that you did that. I won't say it because it's a massive spoiler. Not for the end of the game, but for a part in the game, so I don't want to spoil it. I think it's nearer the end. I have no idea when this game is gonna end. Like, I'm still trucking along. But have you considered nuh-uh? Nuh-uh is such a great argument. And it is what I think Republicans tend to use the most, is the nuh-uh defense. So let's discuss the nuh-uh defense. I guess I could figure out where to put the whiteboard now that like you guys are here. And you could tell me if you like where the whiteboard goes. So to add the whiteboard, I must add an input. I need an NDI screen capture. Yo, Sheep, thank you for, I haven't played Atlas yet. You know what? Today, after we're done with debates, today I'll do a stream game. Because I haven't been able to do a Steam game that you guys sent in a while because I've been playing Resident Evil. So today, after debates, we'll do a Steam game that one of chat sent me. I used to write thank you notes to everyone that sent tips. I wonder if I'll bring that back now that I have the whiteboard again. Here's a tip. Put down the fork. I'm sorry, that's a Family Guy reference. Ass ahoy. All right. So we have this. The worst part about the whiteboard is you guys will learn very quickly that I can't spell to save my fucking life. The worst thing to happen to mankind is automatic spell check, because it's destroyed my ability to spell. That's why when someone misspells in the middle of a debate, when they're on their phone, I'm like, what is happening? You have spell check. What are you doing? Sorry. We got someone screening right now, so we're gonna see what happens. Pillow screening them, and then we'll see if they get in here. Let's see if we like the look of, okay, then I need to add an input. It needs to be a blank input. Blank. I will title this Jovan and whiteboard. Add in the layers. So we want the main camera and the whiteboard. We'll make them look like this, I guess, maybe. Do 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 do. William, thank you for the super chat. Said, "Can I has a cookie?" No, because you used like I can ask cheeseburger speak, and it's the year of our Lord 2026. Stop that. All right, what do we think if the whiteboard was like this? Hold on. What do we think of like if I do it like that? So it's above me. Ghoulmeister, thank you for the super chat. Can you please be a guest on the Necessary Conversation podcast? They were a guest on mine, Critical Mass, not the parent. I was talking specifically to Chad and Haley. I could always ask them, be like, hey, can I due to 1 minute? What? Why is there a time limit? I own this thing. Remove 1 minute link. Restore. Oh, let me make sure this isn't playing, just in case you guys see my... Oh shit, what's my password? That was it. Okay. Beauty. So then, from Sheep, thank you for the super chat. Sheep said, my phone learns words and forgets old words. It learned my typos as if they were actual words and forgot the actual words. Now it sometimes autocorrects words into typos. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Oh Lord, what did William say now? I'll never stop. You can't make me ooh woo. Ooh woo. Damn, do y'all remember when I used to ooh woo for bits? I always felt so dirty. All right, we got a call in the queue. I'm just gonna quickly try to edit this real quick, and then we'll take that call in just a second. So this we'd want to do. Let's put it here. Title it whiteboard. Add a shortcut. So this has to be mix. Oh, I have to figure out what's the shortcut for the mix. Cut to. Oh, okay. It would be mixed one. Nah, I'll figure it out later. It's there, so I know I can do it like if I need to do it by hand. All right. We have a call. Let's take the call. Coming up to stream, we have Arthur. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay. Sorry, my landlord texted me. Let me reset. All right, coming upstream, we have Arthur. Arthur wants to talk about topic number 2 about the compelling evidence for Christianity. Arthur, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Hello. My age is 33, and my pronouns are he, him.
Okay. Now, Arthur, before we begin, I have just a couple of questions to ask you. Question number 1, do you agree to have your logic tested? This involves being asked hypothetical questions, following arguments to their logical conclusions, and clarifying definitions when necessary.
Yes.
Great. And Arthur, are you open to revising or conceding a point if a contradiction or inconsistency is demonstrated?
Yes.
All right, great. Now, Arthur, I don't believe there is any compelling external evidence for Christianity. Do you disagree? And if so, what evidence do you have?
I kind of feel like there's more compelling evidence that the holiness of the religion on its own is true. Because I've heard your arguments before, and like you don't deny that Jesus was real, right? You just deny the fact that he was like.
am agnostic on Jesus's existence. It's not worth it to argue it. But I can
Right.
I can argue under the premise that Jesus was a real person. Yes.
Okay. So if you think he was a real person, but at the same time you don't think that he was per se the Son of God with these powers, like to walk on water, turn water into wine, right?
Yes, I don't believe Jesus was divine and had any mystical powers whatsoever.
Okay. So would you say for a human being to do something that no other human being can do with that, and if that was possible, would you say that that would prove that otherwise for you,
No,
or would it still be like it
no.
wouldn't prove it otherwise?
If somebody just does something nobody else has done, no, that doesn't prove anything.
Okay. Would you say like if you see like a person that starts glowing in the dark, right? Would you say that's like would that apply to that? I'm just curious. I just want to
Well,
see where you
I would
stand.
always look for a possible reason first, like a physical reason, like something that exists in the realm of the natural. So I would look
Right.
at like radiation first. I mean, there are animals that glow in the dark that are translucent, so I'd look at some naturally occurring property first. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if somebody could demonstrate to me a human doing something supernatural, then I'd have a bit more inclination to believe the supernatural.
Oh, okay. So it's more like a oh, okay. Interesting that you brought that up. Well, if that's the case, do you believe in like the zodiac signs or the people that read like tarot cards or stuff like that? Do you believe
No,
in that?
no,
You don't believe in that. Okay,
no.
great. I kind of see where this is where you're standing at now. So, in my opinion, right? I don't know if you've heard about the Shroud of Turin,
Yep, I've heard
but
about the Shroud of Turin. Yes.
okay. So if you, I'm assuming that you pretty much know where I'm going with this. In my opinion, that is the biggest proof or I don't know, like physical evidence that you could say that I guess the powers in Jesus were real.
The
Due
Shroud of
to the
even if
fact that
so, two things about the Shroud of Turin. One,
yeah,
even if the Shroud of Turin was real, currently there's been no dating to prove that um it was made around the time of Christ. There's none. All the three times it's been carbon dated have all dated back to the 12th to 13th 12 to 1300s. Um Secondly, even if the Shroud of Turin was real, all it would prove is that Jesus was wrapped in a shroud when he was crucified. That's it. It doesn't prove any of the mysticism. Just proves that he was wrapped in a shroud and that shroud stained.
right. But have you looked into how it stained the fabric itself?
Yeah, I see a lot of claims about that, but nothing that has been proven. So I don't believe the mystical tales of how it was stained. There's a lot of claims
Okay.
about it, but nobody has been able to prove anything.
But even so, nothing has been proven. Wouldn't you say it is still a little bit like out of the realm of normal? Like it is a little bit supernatural?
No. I don't jump to supernatural, right? My jump would be
Right.
to something explainable that just has not been explained yet. My jump would never be to supernatural.
Okay. So if you can explain this without using any type of supernatural evidence, how would you say the Shroud of Turin could be explained using common physics and science and like human anatomy?
Well,
Is
there's
there a
been
way really?
nothing demonstrated about the shroud that's supernatural, right? There is a pattern in the shroud, right? And we know that people
Uh-huh.
can create patterns into fabric, and we've seen fabric with even from those time periods with patterns that are still there. So my immediate jump, right, to explain it in the using the natural world would be that it's a fabrication, that somebody made it to resemble this. That would be my immediate jump. Um, Again, especially when we add in the fact that the pieces of it that have been dated, right, have been dated to around
Yeah.
1200 to 1300 BCE. So
Yes.
knowing this, I would have no reason to believe it either A has ties to Christ or B has any supernatural goings about whatsoever. In order for me to believe that,
You know,
somebody would have to show me the evidence of the supernatural of the Shroud of Turin.
okay. So I do have to completely agree with you in the dating. The dating part of the shroud is the biggest, I guess, losing argument in it because that whole dating situation with the Shroud of Turin is ridiculous in my eyes. Like the fact that nobody can come up with a specific date is kind of crazy. But aside from that, um, the image itself in the Shroud of Turin, it's not a dye, it's not a pigment, it's not really, they don't really know what it is. That's the thing. It's almost a 3D like superficial image on the fabrics itself, and like it's like layers. So like even if they would have sewn this to this degree of perfection, I mean, the fact that there's nothing like this that has ever existed is kind of crazy. In my opinion, that's what I'm saying. Like that's why this to me, even
So
though
so the 2018, when it was tested in 2018, you are right that they found no paint, dye, or pigments that were responsible for the image that looks like a body, right? However, they did find that the stain was only superficial, like it was only on the outward layer of the linen. It was not on the inward layer of the linen. Now,
yeah,
what discolorated it? Who knows? I mean, realistically, it could have been discolored from somebody wrapped in it and just like whatever. Who knows what discolored it? I have no idea. But like us not knowing does not lead me to then go, well, it must be divine, right? No, I just don't know.
right,
I don't know how the Easter Island heads got where they are. That doesn't mean they were brought there by aliens, right?
agreed. Right. Well, it's kind of also like speaking like why is there dragons on all continents and all types of like ancient books? You know, it's kind of like,
Because
well, where's the evidence that dragons?
everybody found dinosaur bones and thought they were dragons.
Right. So it's kind of like people just adding 2 + 2 = 4. Like we don't really know if any of this is true. Now, that's kind of like what I feel like helps my argument in a sense, because
It doesn't.
ultimately science is based. Well, so let me just explain to you as to why I feel that way. Because I mean, ultimately, facts are facts, right? But if I'm saying, well, the fact that uncertainty helps my facts, is kind of like I could see the lack of connection there. But let me just try to explain it. So in my opinion, right, if everything needs to be based off science and repeated experiments and like a consistency in the results and conclusions of these uh, situations, experiments, acts, or whatever they are, then I could say that, yeah, then we have a proper like way to measure something because it's consistent. If you can consistently have the same results, then you can properly measure this. Now, to me, this is what I mean. There's nothing in the world that has ever done something like this, and specifically to take the shape of a human form. If you could pull up the picture of it just so you could see it, like
What do you mean by
thing,
there's nothing, like what do you mean by that? There's nothing in the world that's stained to look like a person? People literally find Jesus Christ in burnt toast. Like I don't know, what do you
no,
mean?
well, my point is because this Shroud of Turin was put on his body when he died, right?
Well,
Or
not
after
if
he was dead.
not if the dating
Not
is
when
correct.
he did.
No.
Right,
If
right,
the
right.
dating is accurate,
My
no,
bad.
it
I
was never
misspoke.
put on him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I misspoke. Not the day he died. It was put on him after he died and he was in there. And then
What?
he resurrected.
No,
And
no, no.
then he was
If
resurrected.
the dating is accurate, the Shroud of Turin never touched Jesus Christ. It never even came close.
Okay. Right. But so this is where I'm going with this, right? Because the Shroud of Turin is a picture of Jesus depicted, right? Like imprinted on it,
Well,
right?
it's a picture of a dude,
Even,
right? We don't know that it's Jesus. It's just a picture of a guy with a beard. Most people that lived back then had beards. So
okay.
again, that we're in order to make the claim you're making right now, you have to do a lot of logical leaps. You just have to jump over a lot of actual things it could be. You have to jump over the fact that it's dated thousands of years after Jesus's death. You have to jump over the fact that we have other stained cloth that has like images of people in them, right? You have to jump over the fact that uh we would have found it to begin with, right? Because it was not found anywhere that claims to be Jesus's tomb. So
I hate that you mentioned that, because that is such a good point. Even when I first read about this, it was like, how the fuck did they even find this now? I completely understand where you're coming from, right? But it ultimately, like, you know what? Never mind. I concede. I don't see this conversation getting any further, because, like I said, there's really no facts behind any of this.
Okay.
So it's kind of like arguing for nothing. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Guess I win. What's today? Oh, that's why it's doing that. Okay. Anyway. (219-327-8005) if you want to call in, I guess. Let's go through our super chats. CMDR Play said, do you miss Ethan Winters? I know I miss Mold Papa. Yeah, but I love Leon Kennedy so much that it's okay. I'm such a Leon Kennedy guy. And if this game ends the way it seems it's going to, I might never play Resident Evil again. Music Sheep said, Jesus is a CIA agent. He glows in the dark. Glow in the dark people. Yeah. That's my jam. I know I love it when a person glows in the dark. Glad we could pull you from RE8. No, it's RE9. Yeah, Jesus was the only person in all of the Middle East who was born with blonde hair and blue eyes. Crazy time, right? Leon picked a haircut 30 years ago and just stuck with it. Hey, if it works, it works, you know? 219-327-8005 if you want to call in and debate. Now is the time. You know, pick up the phone. Give us a ring-a-ding-ding. Oh, give us a ring-a-ding-ding. Thank you to the people that have sent super chats so far. Thank you for supporting the stream. I don't know what game we'll play today, but we'll play a game at the end of stream today. Not Resident Evil. That's gonna be for me for the rest of. How can men carry a baby in their arms? I mean, some men can carry them in their uteruses if they want to, but most men will carry them in their arms. These are the shit. These have calcium? A serving size is 17 crackers. Yeah, I think Christians tend to overestimate their own belief system, in my opinion. Let's see what we got. I think it's a tiger. How can you believe that a person painted a picture of a person they never seen, yet you attack it like it was true? What? Do you think there weren't pictures of Jesus? That's gotta be a joke, right? Our earliest painting of Jesus is like from 200. Guys, everybody laugh at To Infinity and Beyond for not knowing how adjectives work. Please go laugh at it right now in YouTube chat. Please go laugh at the person that doesn't know how adjectives work. God damn. Do you prefer subs on YouTube or Twitch? Either or. I think I get a little more from YouTube than Twitch gives me, but either or, it doesn't matter. Rakeem the Poet, thank you for the super chat. Gender affirming care is child abuse. No, that's what your mom did to you the entire time she raised you. Thoughts on crows? They chill. Favorite Saturday morning cartoon? Gargoyles. That was my shit, bro. Gargoyles was my shit, dog. Most of the pictures were made by people who never saw him. How can it be taken seriously? Well, yeah, that's why whenever you look at a picture of Jesus as a white man, we all know it was probably made up. Because he wasn't white. And in fact, the oldest known picture of him, he doesn't even have a beard. The beard is a later addition. Mostly because we just assumed, because like everybody in that area had a beard at the time. 219-327-8005. One more skate zine. Thank you so much for becoming a tier 1 member. Yo, everybody point and laugh at Jim Thomas in the YouTube chat. For some reason, he's thinking about men anally bleeding. Point and laugh at that. That's weird as fuck. Sheep said, okay, but why are the gargoyles in that show so hot? Keith David, I don't know what to tell you. And you reminded that Javon once said during Dumb Jeopardy he puts the milk in before the cereal. That was a joke. I do think, though, it would make a crunchier cereal. Homie, just say you want to think about men bleeding from their asses. I don't know. It's something I don't think about like you seem to. I don't think about this on a daily basis, but it seems to consume you. Consume your every thoughts, boy. Why are Christians so obsessed with butt stuff? Because according to them, you don't lose your virginity if it's just in the butt. Your virginity stays intact. God says butt stuff is okay. I don't know, why are Christians so okay with slavery? I think that's more important. Because that Ninja Turtle cabinet is like 3 days old. That's why you haven't noticed it. It's literally like 3 days old. I might need to move them a little closer together. Trying to get them lined up. Wait, I have a feeling. I have an idea. No. I think the shelf prevents it. I got to try to get them lined up better. They're not exactly the way I want them. Think we'll ever get a post-scarcity society? Just remember, scarcity right now is artificial. So, hopefully, but scarcity is artificial. We have enough resources on the planet to feed, house, clothe, and everybody. Like we have them. We just don't utilize them properly. It's like that scene from The Boys and God talks to Jesus and he's like, what's the one thing I can't see through, Jesus? Assholes, God. And what's the one place that penis is located? Asshole. Very right, Jesus. Do we really develop anus first? That must be why I'm such a butt guy. Basketball Jones, ugly people aren't allowed to talk in my Twitch chat or my YouTube chat. So you need to leave. I don't let ugly people chat in here. We all start off female. True. I mean, these are just arcade 1-up cabinets, so I don't know if they have a Ghouls and Ghosts one. Someone's being screened right now, so we'll see if we get another debate. To be fair, I like butts and boobs equally. Have you seen J-Man these days? Basketball Jones, I said ugly people aren't allowed to chat in here, so I'm gonna have to put you on timeout. I don't let ugly people chat in my chat. Am I getting quiet? Can you guys hear me okay? Smiles or waves, thank you for becoming a tier 1 member over on YouTube. I think the cabinets frame me very well. I'm very happy with the way my background is looking. I'm not into, I don't play Magic the Gathering. I'm a nerd, but I'm not that much of a nerd. I'm not Magic the Gathering and D&D levels of nerd yet. I can't do card games. I used to be into Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to send motherfuckers to the Shadow Realm. But I've grown. Here's an opinion, like it or not. The best Teenage Mutant Turtle thing was Rise. Rise is peak Ninja Turtles, and I don't know that we're ever gonna get to Rise levels ever again. That is a Deku figure, yeah. I want to get a new one. That one's from like season 2. I really want to get a new one for like the final like his final look. Get a dual disc. It's on my Amazon wish list. If somebody wants to get it for my birthday, go ahead. Rise was a level of peak I didn't expect Ninja Turtles could reach. Because I've hated most new Ninja Turtle projects. Like, I haven't liked them since the early 2000s cartoon. I've been like, most of these new Ninja Turtles suck. Rise was so peak, it's not even funny. Nah, Rise's art style is okay. I like Rise's art style. Very anime-esque. You can't, the season finale of Rise and the Rise movie was fucking a million levels of peak. Had no reason. The only thing I would change about Rise is just like, maybe swap out Ben Schwartz. Not because he's bad, but just like, all I hear is Sonic. All I hear is either Sonic or I hear Dewey Duck. Ben Schwartz doesn't try to change his voice when he's voicing a character. He's just like, this is me. Someone's being screened right now. Last Ronin is great. Hey, you want an unpopular opinion? I think every live action Ninja Turtle movie has been bad. Yes. Even those. Every single one. I don't like them. Because I grew up. And then I went back and watched them and I was like, yeah. I appreciate them. I don't think they're good. Favorite Dragon Ball Z character? We're talking Z, Future Trunks. If we're talking Z, Future Trunks was that boy. If we're talking like now, Broly maybe. I don't like what Dragon Ball is now, so. Whoa, I didn't say I didn't like them when I was a kid. As a kid, I loved them. I loved the OG Ninja Turtle movies. And then I grew up and was like, these aren't great. They're an achievement. And I still think achievement-wise, like the fact that they were able to make a live-action Ninja Turtles movie that did that well at that time, using all practical effects, great. I don't think they hold up. The best Dragon Ball Bridge character is Mr. Popo. Pecking order. Someone's screening. I don't know what's taking so long. Oh, because Pillow sent me a thing. You're gonna hate on Power Rangers next. Love Power Rangers. Grew up on Power Rangers. I watched every series from Mighty Morphin to I think Dino Thunder is where I hopped off the train. And even then might have been way too late for me to hop off the train, let me tell you. Power Rangers sucks. It sucks. It's garbage. I'll still go back. I'll still go back and watch the movie with Ivan Ooze. But like, Power Rangers is a show for babies. For literal babies. Super Sentai. Actually, not that bad. But Power Rangers is a show for babies, guys. I'm an adult. It's like if somebody asked me, do you like Harry Potter? No, because I'm an adult. And it's a book for children. I mean, also the transphobic shit, but also it's just not good. Like, there are some things for kids that are very good, and they stay good and consistent even for adults because they are written to appeal to both. Power Rangers is not written to appeal to both adults and kids. And everyone who says they like Power Rangers, you don't go back and watch it. You're not sitting in your living room at night putting on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You like the way Power Rangers made you feel as a kid. That's what you like. And that's fine. There's some stuff I love the way it made me feel as a kid. There's some stuff that holds up, right? Iron Giant holds up for both kids and adults. Pokemon holds up. Power Rangers doesn't. 219-327-8005 if you want to debate any of the topics on the board. If we don't get any debates, I'll hop on later. I'll do like an after dark stream and we'll try to get some debates tonight. Captain Planet holds up. No, it doesn't. Captain Planet didn't hold up when it was airing. Chad did some writing on Power Rangers. Who's Chad? Gargoyles holds up. I have not gone to rewatch Gargoyles, so I can't actually tell you if Gargoyles holds up. You know what holds up? Like X-Men holds up. Spider-Man, 90s Spider-Man cartoon holds up like decently well. The budget's not there, so it doesn't hold up with the budget, but Captain Planet wasn't good when it was airing. I'm sorry. Even as a kid, I watched Captain Planet and I was like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? Heart. What the fuck is heart? Dude, I'd be so pissed if all my friends got rings and one of them could make fire, the other could move the earth, water, wind, and they said, and you get heart. Like, what the fuck is heart? I want to make fire. Fuck you. Batman Beyond holds up. Batman the Animated Series holds up better than probably Batman the Animated Series, truthfully, might be one of the best cartoons. Like, holds up so incredibly well. Avatar holds up, but I don't know. Avatar I count in like a different category. Batman the Brave and the Bold's not bad. It's funny, so I don't mind it for the comedy. I don't think Static Shock holds up the best. I think Static Shock is very kids WB in its presentation. Heart is animal, mind. I don't care. It's stupid. I don't care. Your power's worse. Oh, I could talk to animals. That's the worst of the powers. I would like any of, if you went to the world of Avatar and everyone was a bender, but all you could do is speak to Appa, that would suck. Like, it's better than having no powers, but it's not great. Jackie Chan Adventures doesn't hold up. Sorry. Mask of the Phantasm is better than Return of the Joker. Gumball is different. It's from a different era. Those shows hold up because they're built on the back. The reason why I think kids shows tend to always be better, right? Like Gravity Falls is one of the greatest children's animated television shows ever made because it's built on the backs of all these other shows. And it's just different now. You can tell a serialized story in a kid's animation now, where back then you couldn't. Right? There was no overarching plot in most of the shows we used to watch. Gargoyles had one, but it wasn't as popular as a bunch of the other shows. Teen Titans Go, low-key funny. I won't watch it, like I won't seek it out. It's low-key funny. Any PBS kids here? Yo, I used to watch Cyber Chase and motherfucking Liberty's Kids. Y'all remember Liberty's Kids? America propaganda to the extreme. Liberty's Kids never wanted to talk about the fact that all these people these kids are hanging out with own slaves. Cyber Chase is still on the air. Is Cyber Chase the longest running animated show of all, like kids show of all time? What's the longest running children? Oh, it might be SpongeBob. Animated show. Is it SpongeBob? It's SpongeBob. Arthur was 1996 to 2022. So SpongeBob will probably overtake it. Arthur is the longest currently. SpongeBob will have officially overtaken it. 1999 to now. I don't know what that math is. I don't know how long that is. Oh, but I guess if you're going episode count, it gets a little different. There's some fucking East German puppet show that's been on for 61 seasons and has 22,000 episodes. What the fuck? I'm just looking at US ones, bro. I can't get into longest running animated shows from the US. Yeah, SpongeBob overtook Arthur. So SpongeBob, Arthur, Cyber Chase is number 3. Cyber Chase is the third longest running child animated show. All right. We got a liar up on screen, so let's bring up the liar today. Coming up next is Bob Lucian. Bob Lucian. I don't know which one. Why are you going by a different name today, Lucian?
No, I just felt like having the name Bob. I don't know, just vibing with it.
Or you didn't think that our thing reminded us of what the last call was, probably.
No, I know how it works. I know how you guys do it. I already know. I just wanted to Bob on the screen.
All right, Bobsian. I'm gonna call you Bobsian.
That's fine. You can, yeah, whatever. I don't even care. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Good. What are you calling about today, kid?
Yeah, so like Maga, like academically, is just like not fascist. Like, that's just not true.
Oh, I would disagree heavily. I think MAGA clearly and cleanly map onto all 14 characteristics of fascism labeled by both Umberto Eco and Lawrence Britt.
Okay, let's go. Can we go through the 14 characteristics?
Sure.
Okay, number 1, powerful and continuing nationalism. I'll give you that.
That's Lawrence Britt. So you want to use Lawrence Britt's, or do you want to use Umberto Eco's?
We'll use Lawrence Britt.
Great. We can use Lawrence Britt's. So you agreed, number 1, they map onto it. Great.
They map onto number 1. What
Wonderful.
human right do they disdain?
Disdain for the recognition of human rights. So we can look at their disdain for the right of abortion, right? Like the human right of bodily autonomy. They have disdain for that. They clearly have disdain for the rights of trans people. Clearly, there are states that are banning gender or trying to ban gender transition outright.
Been a human right?
The right to bodily autonomy is a human right. It always has been.
But that's a separate body.
Whose body is a separate body? The pregnant person's body is not separate from the pregnant person.
The baby inside of the woman is a separate body. I didn't know you can have bodily autonomy over
I'm sorry.
other bodies.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So you think that the person who's pregnant has no right to their own? They lost their right to bodily autonomy.
No, I'm saying that someone that has bodily autonomy doesn't have autonomy over someone else's body.
No, they have autonomy over their own body, so they can remove something out of
their body alone.
So they can remove something out of their body if they want to, right? If I want to take something out of my body that I don't want there anymore, should I be able to do that?
I mean, okay, so you would be okay with murdering a baby 1 millisecond before birth?
What was the question I asked you?
No, because you said, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to explain the reason I'm asking you this question.
I'm going to ask you the same question I just did when you finish. I'm just going to let you know. No, because there's a body. You can't remove you don't have control over another body. You can't do that. So you don't think that people have the right to bodily autonomy to take something out of their body they don't want there when they're pregnant? You believe that there was a human right that they had that they've now lost.
No, I don't think that people have the right to control other people's bodies.
You're controlling somebody else's body by saying that.
How?
Because you're saying that.
Okay,
you're
I'll
saying
say that.
So there's a person. So there's a person. There's Lucian. There's Bobsian. There's a person. This person, if they were not pregnant, can remove something out of their body if they want to. But now that they are pregnant, you're saying, no, you can no longer remove something out of your body, which means they had a right and they've now lost that right.
No, because those are two separate things.
Nope, it's not. It's the same thing.
Okay, so there's not a serious difference between removing a infectious disease and moving a human body?
Between removing an infectious disease? No, I don't think there's functionally a difference between removing anything from your body and removing something else. Like, it's different as in you're removing two different things, but like the principle is the same. So no, the principle would remain the same. So
you believe that women can have bodily autonomy over other bodies?
I believe that anyone on this planet should be able to remove things from their body if they don't consent to those things being in their body anymore.
Wait, so no. You're avoiding the question. Do you believe?
No, I'm not. I answered the question directly. I answered the question directly. I said, I believe anybody. Are women a part of anybody? Are women a part of anybody? Bobsian. Are women a part of anybody? Yes, they are.
Are women a part of everybody? Yes, women are a part of everybody.
Great. And when I say anything, does that include fetuses? Yes. So I answered your question directly. Anybody can remove anything from their body if they no longer consent to it being in there.
Okay.
The only caveat I would add to that is as long as they're within like their right, as long as they're in like their right frame of mind. Right. Obviously, if somebody's like in the middle of a mental health spiral and they're like, I would say like, hey, we need to get you in your right state of mind before you make that decision.
So, can I just ask you a question? Yes or no?
Bobsy, and I answered
Do
your question.
women are one? Huh?
I answered that question already.
No, you didn't. You said, woman. You rephrased it to make you not. Okay. I'm just gonna
Anybody
not ask it again. 'Cause I don't
can
wanna go
remove
through the
anything
stupid struggle.
from said body if they no longer consent. Women are a part of
So
anybody.
you believe,
Fetuses are a
so
part of
you're a
anything.
slavist because you believe women can have bodily autonomy. You know,
So
while
I'm a
women are
what?
pregnant, they can.
So wait, I'm a what?
You're a slavist. A
You
slavist.
think it's slavery to say a woman can have an
Yes.
abortion?
It's slavery to say that one being can control someone else's bodily autonomy against their will.
So when you
You
control this
already
woman's,
included that a fetus isn't
so when you
everybody.
can control this woman's bodily autonomy, what is that?
That's called laws to make people to stop murdering an individual.
Slavery was laws. So I don't care that it was laws. Slavery was on the legal law books. Doesn't make it not slavery. Do you know what
stopping a woman from having an abortion?
Hey Bobsian, why specifically? Why is a woman obligated to provide care for a fetus?
She's obligated because when she had her sexual intercourse, and why is she obligated? Wait, I'm so sorry. I said that wrong. Because I'm a little tired. She's obligated because you can't control another person's body.
Okay, so you believe that this woman is completely obligated to care for this fetus. If she doesn't care for this fetus, would you legally have her face consequences?
Yeah, I mean, I would have someone face consequences if they gave birth to a fetus, put it on the side of the road, and left it to die. Like, yeah.
Okay, so she is required to engage in some form of labor to care for this fetus. If she doesn't want to, you would force her.
Okay. I'm gonna give you an analogy.
I don't need the analogy, just a simple answer to that question. If she doesn't want to provide this labor, you would force her.
Force her to do this labor? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
Okay, so there is. So you're saying that here's a person. You're saying here's a person, and you are going to force this person to work and provide labor. Bobsian, what is forced labor? What do we call forced labor? There's a word for it.
Forced labor isn't slavery.
Forced labor is not slavery.
No, that is not slavery.
In what world?
The same way that me forcing you to save my life isn't slavery.
We're not legally obligated to save anybody's life. So you can't force me to save your life.
If you watch 100 people die, right?
Now you're pivoting. That's a pivot.
Are you not morally responsible?
That's a pivot. I don't give a fuck about moral responsibility. That's not what we're talking about. You said forced labor is not slavery.
Well, they have a moral responsibility, and moral responsibilities, like if you have a moral responsibility to help one person out.
So you believe that somebody who is pregnant, somebody who is pregnant, Bobsy, somebody who's pregnant has a moral responsibility to be a slave.
Someone who is, I mean, what's your definition of a slave?
Forced labor is slavery.
If you want to define a slave as someone who is a forced laborer, then we're all slaves.
Yeah, essentially.
So what's the point? No point. Moot point.
It's not a moot point. It's not a moot point.
Yeah, it is, because you just admitted that we're all technically slaves by the definition of forced laborers.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we're not forced to work. We just would lose like our house and stuff. If I wanted to go be a vagabond and live on the street, I could do that. So technically, we're not
Are
forced
you
to
a
work.
forced laborer if you don't? Like, are you forced to live? Like, I don't.
What?
Are you forced to live?
Am I forced to live? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Like,
No.
I don't know. I mean,
No, I'm not forced to live. If I don't want to live, I can end my life tomorrow if I felt like it.
And, like,
Nobody's
maybe you didn't
forced to live.
consent
What are you talking
to
about?
like your toes being able to wiggle.
What are you
So,
smoking?
I don't
How
know.
much acid did you drop before
I'm
this
not
call?
smoking, but like, couldn't you be considered a slave because we didn't get to consent to our toes being able to wiggle?
Can I ask you a real question, Bobsian?
Yeah.
Is
Because you
stupidity
define slave.
something you woke up and decided you were going to do today, or is it just come natural to you? Like, how hard did you have to work at being stupid?
What? So that's an ad hominem. Get better.
It's not an ad hominem because it's just an insult. Ad hominems are not just insults.
Okay, you're right. Correct. So
I know I
what's
am.
the point of this insult?
Well, because you said something stupid, so I'm calling you out for saying something stupid.
You didn't say why it's stupid. That would be an ad hominem.
Because I'm not forced to wiggle my toes. And if I do wiggle my toes, I'm
Yes.
doing it consensually. I want to wiggle
Okay,
my
what
toes,
about when you made
therefore
that
I
little
wiggle
baby
them.
scream when you came out the
So
womb?
when
You
you
forced to do that?
no, you're not forced to scream when you come out the womb. You just do it. Or Bobsian, genuine question.
Wait, what?
Genuine question. Like, how stupid are you? Scale of 1 to 10.
I am not stupid.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you're pivoting
you
to
just
the insult,
asked
but
you just asked if we're forced to scream when we come out the womb.
I mean, technically you are. I mean, you're not conscious of your screaming. You don't make a free will decision on your screaming.
Lucian,
According
what is
to your
consent?
definitions,
What is
I mean, I
consent?
guess me screaming
What
at
is
the womb is
consent?
slavery.
What is consent? Can you just
What is
define
consent?
consent? Can you define consent for me?
Consent is the conscious want to do something, and then I'm giving a really wordy definition, and then
You're giving a bad definition.
allowing, huh?
You're giving a bad definition, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, consent is a conscious, yeah, because in order to give consent, you have to be conscious, right? Right?
Correct.
In all circumstances. Let's just get Google up. I'm kind of stupid right now. I'm not stupid, but like I'm blanking out. Okay, I'm not a definitions guy.
I'm going to tell you, and this is actually not a dig on you. I just gets a little weird for me when men don't know the definition of consent. Feels like something we should be able to rattle off without thinking about it.
But like, if you ask me yes or no questions regarding is this consent, I'd be able to answer. But
Okay, great. Let's do yes or no questions about what is or is not consent. Let's say person A takes a bomb and he sticks that bomb inside of person B, and person B does not want this bomb inside of them. Did they consent to that bomb?
they didn't want the bomb.
You're breaking up. We can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did something weird with my phone. Can you hear me better now?
Right now I can.
Okay. If someone sticks a bomb inside of you without your consent, yeah, they're like, that's not consent. You're not consenting to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you don't want
Now, what if it's not a bomb? What if it's a banana?
Banana?
Yep. I don't want this banana in me, but they put the banana in me.
Bananas don't have rights. So, yeah.
Great. What if I tell them I'm hungry and then they put the banana inside of me? But I didn't want the banana inside of me. I might have wanted to eat, but I didn't want that banana. Is that consensual?
Wait, say it again. I'm sorry. I kind of blanked out. I'm a little tired. But yeah.
Is that consensual?
Loki did just wake up and then saw you on my little YouTube shorts, and I was like, "What about do this something fun today?" So say that again.
Let's say I tell them that I'm hungry, and then they put the banana inside of me. Was that consensual?
Like, in what way are you talking? That's a really weird. Like, they're feeding it to you. Like,
Nope. They just forced the banana inside me.
Surgically put the banana inside of you.
Doesn't matter how it gets in there. They just forced the banana inside of me. I don't want the banana in there, but they put the banana in there anyway.
Don't want it, and they're putting it in there. Then that's bad.
Okay, so this would not be consensual.
Yes.
Now, what if they put a baby in me, and I don't want that baby in me?
Without your consent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, babies have rights. So I mean, and I believe, unlike you,
That
I
doesn't.
believe
Wait,
all
wait,
humans
wait, wait,
have
wait. Okay,
human rights.
so because that baby has rights, I now lose my rights.
Isn't that what parenthood is? Is that not parenthood?
No.
No. So you don't lose the right to do whatever the hell you want the minute you become
You
a
don't
parent.
lose your right to consent. No, just because you're a parent. No.
You lose. Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
lose some form of the right to consent in
No, you
some
don't.
way.
No, you don't.
Lose some of your free will.
No, you don't.
How?
What do you mean how? If I have a child,
Okay.
let's say I become a
Okay, is
parent.
it not? I'll
Let's say
describe to you. I'm the one begging
You
the
don't.
question.
I don't need you to.
Um,
What? This isn't a beg the question.
Um,
What are you talking about? Are you just saying debate terms?
I'm just phrasing stuff weird. Okay, so let me phrase.
Are you just like saying random debate terms today?
Yeah, we're just spamming them out, man. You're a nice guy, or whatever you are. But I don't
What?
want to assume gender. I don't.
Homie, if I'm a parent and I have a child and I no longer consent to being a parent anymore, am I stuck being a parent to that child, or is there something I can do to no longer be a parent?
Technically, you can give
Oh.
if someone out. So this is a weird and wonky situation, but
Oh.
technically, if someone wants to be a parent of your said child, then you can. But it's.
I'm
if
sorry.
no
What
one
if
wants
what if nobody? What if there's not a single person I know that wants to parent that child? Can I still get rid of that child if I don't consent to be a parent anymore?
I mean, does foster care exist in this world?
It's our world, so I would assume it does.
Oh, in this world, I mean, foster care still takes care of kids. So
Okay,
I mean,
great. So
yeah,
the answer is we don't lose our right to consent just because we're parents. Got it. So why, when this pregnant person is now a parent in your eyes, why do they lose their right to consent?
well, so the minute you're pregnant, you assume parenthood, right? Okay, and
We both have already
you
agreed parents have a right to
if you
consent.
have parenthood. Okay, parenthood is it changes who you are, right? And since it does change who you are, some of your rights also change as a
No, they
parent.
don't.
You now have to take care of this organism until
Unless
they
you
turn
don't consent.
18. And if
Unless you
you'll
don't
get charged with
consent.
child
Unless
endangerment.
you don't consent, and then you give the child away.
Unless you give the child away. I mean, that's well, then you lose parenthood. If you decide
Exactly.
to lose parenthood.
So
but
you
while
won't.
being
So
a parent,
being a parent is
so
something
I'm
you
on the way
must
to foster care,
consent
right?
to.
If I'm on the way to foster care, and then my child, I let them just fall off the car. I'm still gonna get charged with child endangerment.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about? We're talking about can you or can you not consent to a. This is like the biggest false equivalency I've heard all day. We're talking about, do you consent to parenthood? Is parenthood something you have to consent to, or do you lose your right to consent as a parent? And the answer is no, you don't. You do have to
Well,
consent to
parent-
being a parent.
you lose consent as a parent, right? And until you
No, you
pass,
don't.
but you have the ability to
No, you don't,
have the
because you're
ability to transfer over
consensually.
your parenthood.
No, you don't, because you're consensually agreeing to be a parent. You don't lose the right to consent because you're consenting to do something. That's not how that works. If you are consenting to do something, that's your right to consent to do it. And if you no longer consent to do it, like in the case of parents, you can give the child away. In fact, in some places in the US,
Yeah, but
we
they
still have
drop-
safe drop locations. You could take them to a hospital and just leave them. Right? Now, we can talk about whether this is a moral or immoral decision. I think it's amoral. I think it's moral for some and immoral for others, but it doesn't remove your ability to consent. Now, when you are pregnant, you also have to consent to be a parent. Except now that you're pregnant, there are only two options here. Either you end the pregnancy immediately, in whatever way that will show, whether it be a lethal or non-lethal abortion method, or you allow your rights to be violated for a set period of time. Now, I'm not for allowing rights to be violated. So I believe when someone wants to end their pregnancy, they should be allowed to end their pregnancy in the shortest time span possible. And whether that means the fetus
No matter how
dies or
pregnant
not,
they are.
oh well.
no matter how pregnant they are.
Did you listen when I said lethal or non-lethal abortion methods? Doesn't matter how pregnant you are if there are non-lethal methods available. So if you don't consent to being pregnant and you're like 8 months pregnant, we could just induce labor.
Okay. What about that weird little threshold while baby still, can feel pain and is still conscious but can't be delivered yet? There's a weird little threshold there.
First of all, I don't care about consciousness. I care about sentience, which starts at 24 weeks, which is around the same time that fetal
And
viability
true
is.
sentience, starts after that. I don't think a 1-month-old baby is truly sentient.
What? 24 weeks is when so when we talk about sentience, we talk about the necessary structures to engage in sentience existing in the brain. So that happens at 24 weeks. 26 at the latest
What
is when
about
they
the
start to form.
necessary structures to make necessary structures? Why can't you just do that?
What?
Well, so you know that a 24-week baby is not truly sentient, right?
It would
agree that
one,
it is not able to agree.
No,
engage in the
24
same behavior as
weeks.
me or
24 weeks is enough time for a fetus to begin experiencing. So no, I wouldn't say that it's not sentient.
But it doesn't have the same sentient experience as me or you.
I don't care if the sentient experience is different. It's still experiencing. It could be different all we want. That doesn't matter.
But it's a different type of sentient experience.
I don't care that it's that they're experiencing things in a different way than me. Somebody who's in a coma might experience things slightly different than I do. Somebody who's asleep experiences things differently than I do when I'm awake. Just because it's different doesn't matter to me. What matters is the experience. Does the experience exist?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I gotta go right now. But nice yapping to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple of things to do.
Sure.
Bye.
Sure. That was supposed to be a call on fascism, by the way. What a yapper. Anyway, there's nobody else in the queue. So. Someone's calling in now. We'll see if they get through. Can we get back to talking about why nostalgia is bad? Oh, shit. Let's read one of our super chats we got during that. Ray Sean Floyd said Transformers hold up. The Transformers movie holds up pretty well. Like the OG cartoon one actually holds up fairly well. Transformers as a whole, no, because it was never about being good. It was about selling toys. He-Man doesn't hold up. I'm shocked we're doing a new He-Man movie. Crust Basher, thank you for resubscribing for 3 months of tier 1 over on Twitch. King Puff, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. The Actual Meal, thank you for resubscribing for 1 month of tier 1. Caesar Bishop, thank you for subscribing for 1 month of tier 1. Hannah B, thank you for subscribing with Amazon Prime. Real Slow Like, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Kelsey on Fire, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Raven the Wild Witch, thank you for subscribing for 1 month of tier 1. New Scrubs pisses me off. JD and Elliot should not be divorced. Fuck you. You made me wait fucking 8 seasons to just break them up. Fuck off. Spoiler alert, but it's in the fucking first 5 minutes of the first episode, so I don't. What'd you think of the Stranger Things finale? Oh, what finale? That show ended at season 1. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm sure they'll get back together, and that will piss me off even more. If they get back together, I'll be even more pissed off. Because then what was the reason to break them up? Also, maybe I'm just crazy, okay? But in the beginning of the episode, JD is like, oh yeah, Sacred Heart's like an hour from me now. I haven't seen Turk in so long. I'm like, you live an hour away from your best fucking friend and you don't go spend time with them? I get shit comes up when you're an adult and like kids and whatnot, but like, you're only an hour away. Go see him like once a fucking week or at least once a month. God damn. We got some call screening. Transformers 1 is pretty good. Thoughts on the Devil May Cry anime? I haven't watched it, so no, I don't have any. All right. Why do we always do this? Why do we always do this? All right. Um. Okay. No problem. No problem. No problem. It's fine. 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 Pillow. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Sorry. We're gonna bring up the next person. Jesus Christ, computer. I just opened up Premiere by accident. All right, coming up next to the show, we have John. John is calling about MAGA being a fascist movement. John, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
23, and I'll say he and him.
Okay, and John, calling about MAGA's fascist. John, who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
I abstained from voting.
You abstain from voting. Okay. Sure. John, I believe MAGA is fascist. Do you agree or disagree?
I am going to disagree with you on that, but I do like your premise of MAGA being uneducated. I think that's absolutely true. I don't consider myself MAGA, but I hear the word fascist being thrown around, and I haven't heard of that 14 list you were going through with the other guy. You kind of sputtered out after like the second one. So I was hoping we could run through that list, and I'll see if I agree maybe by the end of it.
We'll see if I'm sorry, we want to just go through the list? Sure, we'll go through the list quickly. I'll just touch on a couple really quickly. If we're going over Lawrence Britt, it would be powerful and continuing nationalism, disdain for the recognition of human rights, identification of enemies and scapegoats as unifying cause, supremacy of the military, rampant sexism, controlled mass media, obsession with national security, religion and government intertwining, protection of corporate power, suppression of labor power, disdain for intellectuals in the arts, obsession with crime and punishment, rampant cronyism and corruption, and fraudulent elections. I think they meet all 14 of those characteristics.
Sure. Well, I definitely agree with nationalism. I think that was the entire crux of Trump's run in 2016 and 2020. I mean that's kind of what he ran on, was being a nationalist. I think the things he says and the things he does get confused a lot. I don't think Trump is as nationalistic or as America first as people like to say, as maybe a fascist would be. I don't think there was can we compare him to other fascists throughout history?
You could, yeah. I don't know. I do want to say, when we talk about America first, I would disagree that Trump's not America first. He's just a certain type of American first. Just like Hitler wasn't Germany first, he was white Germans first.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, Trump is the thing about America first to me, or I guess the way I would define it is like if you're helping any other country more than your own, and not to spiral off onto our friends in the Middle East immediately, but like I don't think you can call any of what's going on over there America first.
America has a vested interest in the Middle East. The reason why they want Middle Eastern territory and the reason why they want to side with Israel is because we use Israel as a strategic placement for our Middle Eastern interests. So it's still like, just because we're doing what Israel wants, it's because we want them to do what we want when it comes to our Middle East desires. So I would just say that's still
it would be a lot
the America
easier
first
to make
that they
friends
want.
over there. I think we could make friends with a lot of those nations if our one proxy state wasn't constantly like lobbing missiles at everybody. It's just my opinion, but I don't want to.
Well, just real quick, we don't want to make friends with other areas in that nation because those are brown people. America wants to stay friendly with the non-brown people.
Well, I don't know if the Jews actually consider themselves white. I think they do when it's convenient, but I think.
I mean, I didn't say white. I just said not brown.
Fair enough. I don't think they see themselves as, I guess you'd say, call Europeans. But yeah, I don't know. I agree. Trump is very nationalistic. The second one,
I guess we could just touch on abortion really quick. I only have one question for you on abortion, and this is something I like to ask the vehemently pro-life people all the time. But like, what do you think the punishment should be for? Let's say there's a pregnant woman, she's 8 months expecting, and she wants to have the baby, and then a drunk driver kills her at an intersection. Do you think the punishment for that should be for taking 2 lives? Because I think a lot of the people who are pro-choice would agree that that would count as taking 2 lives.
Well,
And
at that point, the fetus
is.
is sentient, so I have no problem labeling it as 2 lives taken. If it's before the 24-week mark, I
Okay.
would just label it as an unlawful termination of a pregnancy.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That's reasonable. I would say, I mean, I get why people like the fetus thing. My thing about sex, though, is like, what is sex for? Like, historically, if you like slice off the last 20 to 30 years of social justice, like, what is sex? It's like making a child, right? So you're trying to like separate pregnancy.
I'm sorry.
and
I'm sorry.
sex,
Say that
like, they're
again.
kind of.
Say that again. The purpose I have sex is not to have a child. Maybe the way you're doing it, not the way I'm doing it.
That's what I disagree. I disagree.
If I wear a condom, is the purpose of sex still for a child?
Well, I'm talking about like the biological ability for human beings to like reproduce.
I'm not talking about,
right?
but that's not what I'm talking about, right? Because we can have sex. If I only have anal sex, is the purpose of sex for a child? No, right? Like either we have steps we can take. I wouldn't call the purpose of sex for a child. It's definitely an outcome. It's a biological reality that like if you have sex, you could have a kid. But like I don't think the purpose of sex is children. At least not the way we do it now.
Right, that's what it has been for like 2,000, 4,000. You could be a younger, but like you could say for 10,000 years, and every other species on the planet, like that is what sex is for. But
Yeah,
for
because
humans now, we've got, like,
we
say,
develop contraception, so we can literally have sex without having a kid.
Sure. I would also like that's the thing about my stance on abortion. It kind of doesn't make anybody happy because I view it as morally bankrupt. If that's your first countermeasure to like just wear a condom or don't have sex, in my opinion. But I do think it does deserve the right to exist for cases of incest and rape and stuff like that.
I mean, I think it should
life,
exist for any time somebody doesn't consent to being pregnant.
Yeah. Well, we can disagree on that, but I do think, and even, honestly, I would be willing to fold if my candidate needed the votes or whatever to those people because it is your choice at the end of the day. You can be for rights you don't agree with morally. I think more people should have that opinion. But okay, so what was the third one on the list?
The third one is identification of enemies or scapegoats as a unifying cause.
I think you see that on the far right, like the far alt-right. I don't think you see, like, what would you say that is for Trump's government, like Somalians? Or
Well, it would be immigrants. It would be everybody on the left. It would be LGBTQ people. These are all the people that they target.
Yeah, they definitely scapegoat. The whole left, you kind of have to scapegoat your political opponents in a two-party system where you're winning on like a 51% margin in the Congress or whatever. Like, you kind of have to do that. But when you're talking about marginalized communities, the thing about immigration is like, what does the country spend the most money on? What do countries spend the most money on? And it's their citizens. So
I don't understand what point you're making with this.
I'm just saying, like, the take on immigration with, like, people are saying, well, no, it's not the immigrants that are the problem. It's like, well, supply and demand. If there's a housing crisis, how can you be
The
for
housing
open
crisis
borders?
isn't because we have immigrants.
Well, I feel like it can be because of two things. I would agree that, like, the evil rich capitalist billionaires can like drive up the stakes and buy all the homes. But at the same time, the only reason they're able to sell them at the prices they do is because there's a massive demand for them.
No,
to
but
keep
there is no like causal link. Like no direct causal link has really been found between more immigrants, right, and less homes on the market.
Supply and demand.
I'm not denying that supply and demand exist. I'm saying there's been no link to this. What
Really?
about
No
all
link at
what
all?
about the fact that a bunch of people should we also not like when people turn 18 and they go out on their own and they move out of home because they're going to also take up the supply? If somebody's here, they should be able to have a house. I don't care whether they're immigrants or not. And blaming immigrants and pointing to immigrants as the cause of all these things,
Sure.
when the real cause is the fact that we allow cheap homes to be bought up on surplus by companies that want to then use them to sell
Okay.
to rent out at exorbitant rates. That's the actual issue.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's both. Like, my thing is like, hey, we're out of houses. Stop coming here. You know, we can't even house our own, and we have to now think about 10,000 immigrants coming from Iran now that we've blown them up, and it's like, where are we going to put these people? We can't even. It's like people who are born here can't even find homes. Now we have to worry about like why.
So
are
the
we
U.S.
Should-
engages in military operations and destabilizes nations, and we should just say fuck all the citizens of the nations we destabilize.
No, we shouldn't destabilize them in the first place, of course.
Okay, but
I'm very.
we
Yeah,
are,
Well,
and
that-
but
right.
is your solution to
Right.
now that we've done that? Do you think we shouldn't then though take care of those people?
Well, I guess we do have to reap what we sow, but it is another reason why we shouldn't do that in the first place. But I would agree. If you blow up a nation and now 10,000 people are going to starve, you should probably be willing to at least send a couple ferries over there. So no, I would agree with that. But it is
Okay.
just another reason why we shouldn't do that in the first place.
Okay.
I think the problem with modern immigration is the way we allow enclaves to form. I know that's kind of a scary word, or whatever. But like, if you dump, 20,000 people into one place as opposed to spreading them out evenly across America, like, do you think assimilation becomes easier or harder?
I don't care if people assimilate.
Well, that's no bueno.
Why not? Because I'm not
Like, we
xenophobic.
have to. Sure, but you got to be, if you want to have a coherent culture.
I don't think America
If we
has
all wanna
I don't think
fight-
America has one coherent culture. I think we're literally a country born from a bunch of people who shared different cultural backgrounds. So to tell people that they now have to that we have to force them to assimilate into one shared cultural identity, I disagree with this.
I think it's more efficient to run a country when everybody can rally under the same flag and for the same values.
Just because
So I would say-
what values are
No,
different?
go ahead.
What values are different? Like give me an example.
Well, we could talk about Muslims. I'm not like the biggest theologian. But I
What
know
values are they worship
there
literally
are
this
certain-
they worship the exact same God that Christians do. What values are different?
Well, they think they do. I don't think Christians
They
think
do.
that.
They literally
They
do.
certainly
They
don't.
It's literally the same God. They just
don't-
don't believe Jesus was Messiah. They believe that the
Well,
Messiah came late. That Jesus was just another
Jesus-
prophet. They don't believe him to be Messiah. They just believed him to be a prophet.
Christians believe Jesus is God. So if you don't believe in Jesus, how can you say that you believe in the same God?
It's the same God, my G.
I would disagree with that. I think most Christians would disagree with that. I'm sure there's probably some liberal Muslims who might agree with you, but I don't think for the most part that Orthodox Muslims would say that they worship the same God. They can say it was the same covenant as Christ leading up to the crucifixion, but like, I don't think they worship Christ. I think that's kind of like the whole. But anyways, the point I was getting at is that there's stuff in their holy book that says like, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's not compatible with freedom as we've known it.
The
for
Christian holy
250
book
years,
says
in
you
my
can own
opinion.
slaves.
What's up?
The Christian holy book says you can own slaves. So I don't know what we're like. Why are we splitting hairs?
Where does it? Wait, where does it say that?
Leviticus 44 through Leviticus 25, 44 to 46.
Here, let me look up that verse.
Your male and
That's an
female
interesting
slaves
argument.
can come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also
Is
buy
Leviticus,
what is Leviticus what?
is Leviticus Old or New Testament?
Old.
So I'm pretty sure the Protestants that founded America, or maybe you could argue that they didn't found America, but certainly they were the majority of the population, actually believed that there is an Old and New Covenant, and a lot
Right.
of the Old
Jesus
Testament stuff
specifically
doesn't apply to us anymore.
that Jesus
Because
specifically
whenever,
says Jesus specifically said he did not come to abolish the laws of the old prophets. He came to fulfill them, and that the laws of Moses still stand. Leviticus is the laws of Moses. So it still
sure,
stands.
that's the same argument people use for Christians defending Israel's right to exist, because God said, whoever blesses Israel shall be blessed, but they were talking, it's completely out of context. And also, by the way, I'm pretty sure Christians were like the first people to abolish slavery, like globally.
Christians were the reason there was slavery in America. They
Right,
literally
and
made
we were also the first people.
they made pro-slavery propaganda that quoted Leviticus. So I don't really like imagine if I
Right.
was punching you in the face and then I stopped punching you in the face and said, "Don't you look, but I stopped punching you in the face. So clearly I'm good."
Sure. No, obviously, I think slavery is evil. I think it's the worst thing our nation has done. I think it's worse than the Holocaust by far. But that gets an unfair amount of coverage in our school system. I think slavery gets its due, but like, yeah, no, I agree. Slavery is bad, but Christians were. I mean, everybody used slavery. Every major nation. What can you name me a major player that didn't have slavery? At least
That's not the
in your
argument.
history
You
book?
made an argument that the values were so different and said that the Muslim, like the Quran tells Muslims to do things that are harmful or bad. Meanwhile, the Bible does the same thing.
Well, like, yeah, a long ass time ago. You don't have a lot of Christian
Again,
slave owners nowadays.
again, just because Christians ignore what their book tells them doesn't mean that it doesn't still tell them this. Just means they ignore what the book says and they don't actually follow the laws of their teaching.
Which in this case is a good thing.
It doesn't
And
matter. The
Muslims,
fundamental belief is still the same.
no, I don't think most Christians fundamentally believe that you should own slaves.
Yes, because they're bad Christians.
That's crazy. There's
If the
probably
book
some really
if the
far-right
book
guys
says
who would love to hear you say that.
if the Christian Bible says it's okay to do
Yeah.
this, right? It says it's okay. This is okay. This is morally permissible under God. And then a Christian comes in and says, no, it's not okay. They are going directly against the word of their God, making them bad Christians.
Well, I don't think the Old Testament applies.
Okay, that's going directly against. I don't know if you're Christian, but you are directly going against the words of Jesus Christ.
Well, that's like the whole schismatic thing. I'm definitely not the best, example of a Christian, but I know a little bit about the denominations, and it sounds like you are an extreme Baptist believer, because they're the ones who take
I'm not Christian at all.
single word. They're the ones who take every single word literally, and there are probably
I think
most of the denominations nowadays.
if you're going to claim to be Christian, you should take the word of Jesus Christ as law. So when Jesus says, I didn't
agree.
abolish the laws of the prophets, what do you think that means?
I don't think Jesus would approve of slavery. I don't know. You're right. He didn't come to abolish
Slaves
it. He came to abolish the rules.
Slaves obey your earthly masters, whether they be
Right.
cruel or kind. Paul said this.
Well, wasn't he talking about the Israelites who were enslaved
Nope.
by the Egyptians?
No, this was thousands of years after the Exodus. What do you mean?
Oh. No, you're right. I'm no theologian. I don't read the Bible, so I don't know. You've given me some interesting stuff to touch up on. I'll research that for sure. I've been coming back to the faith for a little while, but like, yeah, I'm not super fundamentalist. And I think there's a lot of stuff in there. I mean, you can, if you really want to dig and poke at it, I know there's stuff in like Numbers that's like, kill all the children and save the women so we can have them later. And it's like, whoa, it's pretty extreme. But I think when if we can bring it back to American culture, like in the modern world for a second, I don't think your average Billy Bob's Bible church is like, and then chop all the non-believers' heads off. But, you know, the Muslim world, that's not so far-fetched these days in a lot of places that we receive immigrants from, which is bad.
Who do you think commits more crime in this country? Like white Christians or brown Muslims?
Per capita, I think
Yeah.
the Muslims in America are actually really tame compared to what Europe's dealing with. I
Oh, okay.
actually do agree with you that, and this is mostly because they are Israel first, will use Muslims as the ultimate scapegoat, even though they're barely 3% of our population. So, no, I would say definitely white Christians, because the Muslims we do get are usually the best of their kind, and I think that's the way immigration should be.
The best of their kind. So we should only take the best of
Yes.
of their kind.
Yes, it's called
Uh-huh.
brain drain.
Uh-huh.
Sorry if you can hear that dog barking. It's called brain drain. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's the geopolitical strategy designed around taking the best minds of enemy nations and saying, hey, Los Angeles is a lot
enemy
nicer than
nations.
the desert. Yeah,
We're not
enemy nations.
we're not talking about
Nations
strictly
live in
we're not talking about strictly enemy nations.
Sure, well, okay, then any nation. Okay, any nation that is competing with the United States. We go to their
What?
best minds and we say, hey, Los Angeles is a lot nicer than the desert. You can build missiles for us. We'll set you up in a room and board. And that's kind of the whole, because then they're making missiles for us and not China or Russia or the Emirates. So, yeah, that's why I think American Muslims, for the most part, are actually good. But if you're advocating for an endless supply of them, you're going to run into issues. Sharia law, no bueno.
What Muslim states currently operate off of Sharia law?
Good question. I don't know that off the top of my head. Do you have that pulled up?
If you don't know it, then why do you believe that more Muslims here would mean we get into Sharia law?
Well, you said here. I think globally, I think more Muslims would agree with Sharia law than Christians would agree that we should own slaves.
What are you
I don't
basing
know
that
if
off
anybody
of?
would disagree with me with that.
Is that just a vibes-based argument?
You're telling me you think there's more Christians that think we should own slaves than Muslims that think we should own Sharia law?
No, because that's a false equivalence. I'm asking you what evidence you have to suggest that just because a bunch of Muslim people immigrate here, it means that they're going to want to enable Sharia law.
I think you can look at what's going on in the UK is a good example of that, right?
Sharia law is not in the UK.
And I'm
It's
not
not
sure-
even
I'm not-
proposed on the books in the UK. So no,
Yeah,
I can't.
Let's give it another 50 years and see how that
So
turns
the
out.
reason you believe it
mean,
will happen is because you're speculating that it will happen. So it's just a speculation. So it is just an argument based off of vibes.
Well, I would say that as soon as like more than 50% of a country is run by people who believe in a fundamentalist Muslim idea or theocracy,
Again, which countries do Sharia law?
I don't know. I'm walking around right now. I'm not sitting in front of a computer. I could look
Okay,
it up.
so
I'm
you
sure it's not many.
just believe all Muslims would want Sharia law, even if they don't come from Muslim countries that don't do Sharia law.
No, I don't deal in absolutes, but I think
You did just
that,
deal.
you know.
This whole argument has been absolutes. I'll
Well, no,
repeat the
obviously all
argument.
people-
I'll repeat the argument. If more Muslims come to the U.S., we
Yeah.
could get Sharia law. That's an absolute.
I would say as soon as they are more than 60% of the country, which would
So you are
never
doing an
happen
absolute.
in America. Let's be honest.
So you are doing an absolute.
No, I'm not talking about America.
Can you point me to a
I'm not worried
country?
about America.
Can you point me to a country where
becoming-
where Muslims emigrated, and through that emigration they set up Sharia law in a country that didn't previously have it?
No, I maybe could come up with something for
Okay.
you, like if I called you back in an hour, but
Okay.
I've got to.
So the argument is just vibes.
I think Muslims hold their holy book a lot more literally than Christians. I don't think anybody would disagree
What do you
with that.
base that on? Also vibes?
I guess, sure.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't have like a peer-reviewed research sitting in front of me. I'm just walking around my neighborhood right now.
Do you
But,
base
ask the
all of
average
your do you base all of your political and social opinions on vibes, or just these ones?
I like to think that I do more research than the average person, but I'm certainly no. I mean, this isn't my job or anything. I'm no live streamer. So
I mean,
I don't know.
all the
Some of
arguments
it's
you've
vibes,
given me
but-
today have been vibes, though. Do you have any that aren't?
has anybody given you arguments that aren't? What does that even mean? Like
Arguments with like
what if it's
empirical
like if I-
evidence, an opinion that they're able to back up with some type of factoid. Yeah, plenty of people do that.
Hey, you're the one sitting in front of a computer, buddy. You find the statistics to prove me wrong. I'm just walking around my neighborhood.
Okay, so the burden of proof is on me to prove you wrong.
Yeah, you're the political live streamer. You find
I hate
me-
to break
you
it. I
prove
hate to
me
break
wrong.
it to you. That's not how that works. You made the claim,
Right, so dispute it.
so I have to needle in a haystack and try to find evidence that dispute. If I told you unicorns exist, if I said unicorns exist, John, prove to me that they don't. Could you do that?
Yeah, I could probably manage that. I mean, it would
How do
take
you-
a while.
how do
I'd
you
have to,
prove-
like,
How do you prove they don't exist?
go to the library? I would. How do I prove unicorns don't exist?
Yep.
Jeez, I don't know. What does that have to do with fascism?
Are you having difficulty tracking the conversation?
I mean, I'm having difficulty like thinking of what. I don't know how that relates. If my
You don't
job
know
was to, like,
how me
sit-
you don't know how me asking you if you can prove the negative to my claim relates to you asking me to prove the negative to your claim? You don't know how that
I
relates?
mean, I think if it was my
I feel
job
like-
to sit in front of a camera on YouTube,
I
and
feel
be
like this is
"Unicorns
pretty
don't exist.
obvious about
Call
how
my
this
phone
should
number."
relate. Pretty sure that's pretty obvious how that should relate. I'm just gonna throw that out
if
there.
I had a YouTube channel where it was like unicorns don't exist, call this phone number, and then somebody called and was like, hey, I think unicorns exist, I'd be like, well, according to Pew Research study.
Hey,
we have
John,
determined
real
that
quick.
there's
John,
a-
real quick question, John. Did you happen to read the rules before you called in?
No.
Okay. There are rules in the description of this video. You want to know what rule number
that?
3 is?
Yes.
Bring sources.
Oh, that's a rule?
Did you
The
bring
last
any
guy didn't
Did
bring
you?
any sources?
Hence why he lost the debate.
True, that guy was going in circles,
You don't think you're going in circles?
but no, I mean, I'm trying to move on. Do you want to get to like, I mean, yeah, I don't have any sources, but like, you're not giving me
Okay.
any either. So what are we
Okay.
doing here?
Have I made a claim?
I mean, you're making the claim that my claim is wrong, so isn't that the same as like,
No. It's not.
so you don't disagree with me?
No, because what I said to you was, can you prove your claim? To which you said no. So unfortunately, we're out of time, and
Right.
you've been voted back to the shadow realm. So enjoy it, John. Kind of dumb shit. Sheep paid to move on from that one. Said people were saying 10 years ago, just give it 10 years, and it'll be Sharia law, and yet it's not Sharia law. By the way, kick this guy. Heard. And so I did. I just hate, bro. Why do they always argue from vibes, bro? Vibes. That's it. That's all they can do. Is vibes. Let's go through our super chats that we got while we were doing that one. Shit. Where was I in terms of super chat? Sheep said Beepus or Phoebus. I don't know what that means. Pete Hegseth is trying to sue and dismantle an AI company for not letting him use their AI to fire ballistic missiles automatically. Pete Hegseth's a joke. Hegseth pastor says slavery is good according to biblical principles. Shit, he's the best Christian. How about we don't build missiles at all? True. We saw that one already. Even Indonesia, which is notorious for having been converted to conservative Islam, doesn't have Sharia law. Caller's talking about a thing no one is doing. Agreed. It's wild that we live in an era where sources and fact checking is made fun of and looked down on. The anti-intellectualism of the modern era is destroying society. Bro, true. Motherfucker said, I need sources? No, not for a debate. Why would you? God damn, dude, you're right. Why would you need sources for a debate? Oh shit, we got some more. Let me just. Fiona said, drop him. Our rights are under threat right now from Christian nationalists. Literally. Oh, and then Sedalis said, claims without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Exactly. So true. So true, besties. So fucking true. I just don't get why people have a hard time giving a source. Like, why do you allow your beliefs to be informed by nothing? I don't get it. All right, let's go to the next caller. Coming up next is Patrick. Patrick is calling about abortion, where it's not on our board, but whatever. We'll talk about it real quick. Patrick, you have a lot of background noise. Are you on speaker?
Yeah, let me change that up for you, boss. Better now?
Yeah, that's better. Patrick, can I just get your age and pronouns, please?
36. Pronouns is I'm a man.
And what are your man pronouns?
That's just I don't go too far in my pronouns. I'm a guy. He, him, I guess.
There we go.
I would say.
And now you want to talk about abortion? Is that correct?
Yeah, I was intrigued about some of the other conversations you were having too. But just stay on the topic I was talking about. My main thing about abortion is pretty much people just dodging responsibility. That's what I think.
What responsibility?
Of taking care of a child.
Why am I responsible to take care of a child?
I mean, the way I see it is, you want to do the whole dance, you want to, have sex. I mean, there's so many contraceptives out there to protect yourself from having a baby. You end up, being irresponsible. And then that's how it goes, man. Then you're gonna have to, take the responsibility of being a parent.
Are contraceptives 100% effective?
No, but that's the gamble you take. It's just like you go gamble at a casino. You put your money down, but oh wait, I lost my money. It's like, well, shit, you put your money down.
Did you know that 51% of all people that had abortions used at least one method of contraception when they had sex?
Oh, I did when I had my abortion when I was younger, and that back when I did it, it's like I didn't look at it as a standpoint of it not being a live person or whatever. I didn't.
When you had your abortion.
Say that again.
When you had your abortion, you've had a physical abortion?
Well, my girlfriend at the time had one.
Okay, your girlfriend had an abortion. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, so, and it wasn't that I thought about being, live this or that. It was pretty much me dodging responsibility of being a parent. That's exactly why I did it. I can go through my brain and try to tell myself, oh, I did it for this reason or that. But basically, I just did it because I was irresponsible and I took the easy way out.
Why is that bad? Why is that immoral?
Oh, just because I did it for my selfish reasons, and like,
Why is that immoral?
now that I have kids now, like I see it a whole different perspective now. It's just because I mean, I guess you can say it's like I don't have an obligation, but it's just is it the right thing to do? To me, like I look back on it, it's like, what kind of person does that make me if I just want to dodge out or be, filled with, lust and just going from girl to girl and just doing things like that. It just seems,
If you are
immorally wrong.
if you are not morally obligated, then why would it be wrong to do?
Well, it's just, it's a kind of precedence you want to set for society. It's like, is that what we're going to be now? Is just a bunch of people just, having carefree lives and just not figuring out consequences for our actions? That's what it seems like. Even with everything else that's going on,
would we prefer a precedent in which people are forced to carry unwanted pregnancies to term?
Well, I mean, forced. It's just, that's why, like, man, if I just want to be, and it's a crazy thing to think about, because it's like, then what do we do? We're gonna have a lottery ticket. You're gonna have to get sterile and save your sperm or whatever. It's just, I get there's not gonna be a way where we can just say it's this or that. Like, I think some cases abortion,
Or we just make abortions. We make abortions free and legal, and anyone who wants one can have one, and anyone that doesn't want one doesn't have to have one. There's pretty easy middle of the road there.
I mean, I get it, but to me, it's just like my moral standpoint on the whole thing. Like, I get it.
You haven't been able to,
other things too.
Patrick. You haven't been able to tell me why it's morally wrong.
It's just, to me, it's morally wrong because you're killing a person. Because if you all intents and purposes, like, if you don't do anything, you don't have abortion, a person will come out of that, right?
A person will come out of it, so it's not a person yet. It will become a person.
Well, to me, it's like, well, as soon as you impregnate the woman, to me, that's, the baby's there. But I don't want to get into semantics about
I'm not talking about,
because we can go on.
Hold on. I'm not talking about whether it's a baby. We're talking about whether it's a person, whether it has personhood, whether it's granted rights under a moral framework, right?
Yeah, well, to me, I think the moral right is granted as soon as it's there. It's brought into existence. But we can go on and on about, like, when's the right time or not.
Well, so you think it gets a moral right to life the second it's conceived?
Yeah, the second that it's conceived, and it's like, and that's like once you get the pregnancy test back, and it's like, oh, that's a baby right there. I mean, because you can't really, right at the minute, you can't just like, oh, pull it back out and be like, oh, it's not there. You know what I mean?
Okay, Patrick, what is the right to life?
A right to life. To me, a right to life is just once you come into existence to exist. I mean, that's something that there's no force stopping it.
But what's the concept? You didn't explain what the concept is. Pretend I've never heard of a right to life. Explain that concept to me.
Well, the right to life to me is, it depends on the context. Like, I have a right to life right now as me being, a person now. It depends on the concept. Like what do you mean a right to life? Like when they're born or when you impregnate her? Like, I don't understand what the question is.
Pretend I have never heard of what the right to life is and tell me what it is. I've never heard of it before. I don't know what it is.
To live without anybody stopping you from living.
Great. So
like
to live,
the right to exist.
The right to exist without anyone stopping you from existing.
Yeah. No force stopping it from it happening.
Why is being stopped from existing bad?
Because, I mean, if my parents stopped me from existing, then I wouldn't be alive. So that would kind of suck. You know what I mean? It's like,
why though?
Like the potential of life. It's because, they have a chance to be something, regardless of, let's say, like how you're saying, like, if it's not wanted by the person, adoption is the case, could be a case.
Sure. But the question I'm asking you, let's take death, for instance. Let's say the art of dying. Why is dying a bad thing?
Because I mean, it depends. Some people want to die, but it's just that would be their choice, I guess, the person's choice.
Here, we'll take
right?
it. We'll take
I
it a
mean,
step further. We'll take it a step further. Why is killing bad?
I mean, it's just. I think it's more. It depends on the situation. Like the morality of it is bad. Like I wouldn't want to kill you or something. You know what I mean? Like killing another person is morally bad.
Why?
But if somebody's attacking you, then I guess it just depends on the situation.
Sure. Let's say it's just a person who's just like you're killing somebody who's in bed. They're just in bed sleeping. Why is killing them bad?
I mean, did that person, stab my mom or some shit?
Nope, they're just in bed. They're just in bed sleeping.
It has to be a good reason for me to kill somebody. You know,
they're
what
just.
I guess
They're just. They're just in bed sleeping.
It's bad because I mean that's messed up, man. Guys taking a nap, sleeping, and I go in there and kill them for no reason. That's to me that's
okay.
morally
I'm gonna write
wrong.
down. I'm gonna write down the answer. It's bad because it's messed up.
Yeah.
So why is it messed up?
Because it means morally wrong.
And why is it morally wrong?
Because it just, I guess, human nature, let's say.
Human nature. So humans naturally just know that it's wrong to kill.
Yeah.
Why do we kill all the time?
Because there's a lot of dicks out there, man. There's evil people. That's not going to ever change. Evil people in any culture, any vein of life is evil, and that's just what we have to deal with.
Okay. What harm comes? I'll just rephrase the question. What harm is derived from killing a human?
Because it stops their potential life of them potentially having, their family, their children, or it's stopping a whole story. Pretty much, it's like burning their book, and especially when it's, they have no say so in the matter. You know what I mean? It's like that's why we send people to prison for murder, because they just destroyed somebody's whole story.
Sure, you just keep telling me it's wrong because it's killing them. Yeah. Right? I know that they're killing them. I'm asking what harm comes from killing. You're saying the killing stops their story, so essentially killing ends their life. I know this. I'm asking why ending that life is wrong.
But ending their life's wrong because they could have solved cancer. Like they could have done something for society.
They could have become the next
so much
Hitler.
More they could have contributed.
What if they became the next Hitler? Okay, so then if I aborted somebody who was going to become the next Hitler, then that's an okay abortion.
No.
What if they were going to become what if they were going to become a woman beater?
Like,
would it be okay to abort them then?
Say that again, sorry.
If they were going to become a woman beater, would it be okay to abort them then?
No, not at all.
I don't understand though. You said the reason it's bad.
That's the thing that the argument we can get into is just like what brings up a person is what they learn in society or how they are. You can't really judge them by being a fetus, or being in a womb.
So here's what I'm a little confused about. You're saying abortion is bad because because it's killing a human, and killing that human is bad because it ends their potential to possibly be good. Logically, it would follow that if you ended the potential if they ended the potential to be bad, that would be okay then.
Well, it's just you're not going to know. That's the thing. It's like that's why it's not good. That's why abortion shouldn't be a thing.
No. The answer is hold on. The answer is you're not going to know. Therefore, the argument from potential is a bad argument because you're arguing something we can't know.
Well, then based on that, then we all should die. Then at this point, and it's like, what's the point of living?
No, because I can demonstrate harm in killing sentient creatures pretty easily. And it has nothing to do with the potential that they may go. It's the fact that they would then experience some level of negative experience they would then engage in some level of negative experience to them currently. Not about what they'll experience in the future. Currently, they would experience something negative.
Well, so like with you, for instance, say if you were taken out of existence, would that have been wrong for you to die? Like if your parents would have aborted you,
if it was before I existed, no.
But I mean, so you wouldn't have any issue with that.
If I had never existed, no, because I would have never existed. What issue would I have with it? Now, I do exist now. So if my existence ends, that's a negative to me. That's a harm to my current existence. But if you got rid of me before I existed, no, I never existed.
Yeah, but then the potential would have been a life lost. Like, so everything that
So?
you've done in your whole life, everything that you've done would be
I didn't
essentially
exist.
not
I didn't.
worthless.
So what? I didn't exist. There's no moral wrong in stopping someone from ever coming into existence. They don't exist yet. You can't hurt something that's not there.
It's more like a thing that we could argue till the cows come home on that one, because I mean that would be hard to kind of pinpoint, because I mean it just depends on like your perspective on what you think life is essentially.
Life can be whatever.
Don't get me
Life
wrong,
can be whatever we want to say it is. We can say life is the second that sperm meets the egg, it's life. However, the person, so me, the individual, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. But it just, to me,
I'm not going to show up for 24 to 26 weeks.
That just gets into like a whole theoretical thing, which is impossible to debate, because
it's just philosophy. Philosophy isn't impossible to debate. It's impossible to come up with a 100% shared conclusion, but it's not impossible to debate.
Yeah, makes sense. So it's like I mean, like you can't get one definitive answer on any of this. Like, to me, I just feel like when my situations and what I before
we got to look at what does the least amount of harm. So if
I mean, arguably yours would be the least amount of harm. Because I mean, it just essentially gets rid of the problem, good or bad. I mean,
no. If killing something, like, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's morally wrong to cut down a tree?
It depends too. Like, depends on the situation.
No, morally wrong. Morally wrong to the tree. Morally wrong to the tree. I'm not talking about its effect on others around it. Is harming the tree itself a moral negative? I would say no.
Well, in the tree's eyes, yeah, but in our eyes, no.
But the tree can't experience anything. There's no eyes, right?
It's its own perspective,
Trees don't have a perspective. They don't have a brain. They can't experience anything.
Yeah, well, like to us, like that's what we think to them. Maybe a tree has a whole other, situation that we can't understand.
But they don't.
There's another theoretical thing that we could go on and on about. Like, I mean, which is, I agree with you. I agree. I get it. But I get what you're trying to say, though.
So if we know it's not harmful to kill something that can't experience anything, why do we now say it's harmful to do that when a fetus lacks the ability to experience anything?
Well, I guess because humans are a different, we have consciousness. I guess we have morality.
No, the answer is just humans tend to like things that look like them. That's it. We just like that this thing looks like us and is part of our species, so we give it some extra privileges that we don't give anything else that's at that level of sentience. I'm not going to give it some extra experience just because it's another human, right? If there was a body in a hospital kept alive on machines, right? This is a living body. I don't give a shit if that body dies. Like, if we pull the plug and that body dies, the person's already gone. There's no person in that body anymore. So fuck it.
Oh yeah,
I don't care if
in that case, yeah, for sure.
But this is the thing with a fetus. A fetus is just a body up until sentience. It's just a body. I don't care if a body dies. It's flesh.
Yeah, and I guess it's
just flesh and bones.
I guess it is because me, I don't like to tell anybody how they do things and stuff. I'm just saying my perspective with the whole thing is it was responsibility for me. It wasn't that I had an argument about whether it was life or death. It was just me.
Yeah, but again, it's not wrong for you to not want to be responsible for a child. That's not wrong. It's not, and it's not selfish to have that belief because you're not obligated to do that.
Yeah. I guess it does make sense in a certain way. I guess it is perspective. I guess I have. It's what drives me and what my thinking now versus my thinking back then.
Yeah, like I said,
So,
you're not
I
you're not
mean,
obligated for that though. So
yeah.
I don't there's nothing to really worry about in that sense.
But I mean, if it's not too bad, could I go on a different topic? Just because I think we kind of answered that question really quick.
Sure. We have a couple more minutes. We can do.
All right, a couple more minutes on like, let's say I want to kind of get into the whole like the gay marriage and like transgender stuff. Like me, I'll give you my background straight up. I'm a conservative person, but I'm open minded, dude. Like I don't get like pissed off, or I'm not like, oh Trump, oh, I'm not one of those crazy stupid guys, you know. But like my question is like, I don't understand why does like the whole like LGBTQ community and stuff want to have like the gay marriage and have the government uh, recognize them as marriage, or transgenders, or the pronouns and all that stuff. Why do they care so much about all
Why
that stuff?
do gay people want the same rights that straight people have?
To be honest, I wish I didn't have to give the government, because I'm married. I could care less about my marriage certificate, because I don't need the government to know if I'm married. And I really don't care. That's why my question is like, why do they care? Why do they care that
just real quick, you don't want your wife to like, you don't want to be able to claim your wife as a dependent and like file her on your you don't want to jointly file taxes with your wife?
I mean, like, say if there was a different thing, I guess that works. It doesn't really benefit me much, because I always get taxed on my ass anyway. You know, so it's like, it doesn't honestly, like, the benefits to being married, to be honest, is actually not that great, especially when you have kids, because then if
you didn't want, just one more question. You didn't
Yeah.
you don't like, you didn't enjoy standing in front of your friends and family and like legally being
Not really.
recognized for loving your wife?
Right. Shit, we'll have a barbecue and hang out all the same. You know what I mean? Like, they all know I love her. It's like, do I really need a marriage certificate to tell me that? You know what I mean?
Did she like your wedding?
She can take it or leave it. I mean, women are, I think, a little bit different when it comes to that stuff. But so we can have a wedding. Like, I'm not saying not have a wedding. I'm not saying not have a wedding. You can have a party. You guys party your ass off. Enjoy yourselves. Have the all you can drink. Do all that stuff. I'm talking about the certificate and the government acknowledgement. Who cares? Who cares?
Well, a bunch of people.
Like,
do you think?
as me
Do you
being
think
a
you would
straight man,
care
I don't
more?
agree with gay
Wait,
marriage.
hold on. Do you think you'd care more if the government told you couldn't do it?
Not really. I would be like, I don't give a shit.
No.
Like, so what?
Yeah, but
I
you've
don't care
always
what
had the
Trump
option. I'm
did.
saying, if you put yourself in the position of somebody who never had the option, who just the government said straight up, it doesn't matter if you love somebody, and it doesn't matter if that's consensual adult love, you cannot do this. You are not allowed.
Well, they're not back.
You don't think that
I'd
would
pretty much be like, oh, F you anyway. You guys don't do nothing for me anyway. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? You know, like, I've been told my whole life on a lot of things that I've done that I can't do this, or I'm not going to be able to do that. And I just do it. And I end up proving people wrong. And at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what they think, because it's like, I end up doing it anyway, or I'm enjoying my family and friends and all that stuff. Like, I don't care. Like me being a straight white man, like, I don't believe in gay stuff. Doesn't mean I don't have gay friends. Like, my cousin's gay. I have a ton of gay friends.
You don't think those gay friends should be able to get married?
I'm like, well, not really.
You don't think those gay friends should be able to get married?
Well, I don't see why they would care. Like, I don't get why, like, it's like an issue where it's like they're like, it's just like something that's so like dear to their heart, because it's like,
do you think like when black people and white people wanted interracial marriage, do you think it was good that they cared about that?
Well, I'd be indifferent with it, to be honest. I wouldn't give a shit. Like, if I was with a black woman and then they were like, "Oh, you can't marry," I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna do my own thing anyway. It's not gonna affect the sun's still coming up."
I'm not asking about if you care. I'm saying, do you think those people cared?
I mean, I guess they did. You know, obviously they did.
Why do you think they cared?
Because they wanted to care. I just see like they just giving the government so much power over their mindset and the way.
What power does the government have over you now that you're married that they didn't have over you before?
They just know that I'm married. It's just.
So the power is just that they know you're married.
Yeah. And it could care less about that, to be honest.
It's just that they know. So the power that they hold over you is just the knowledge that you are married.
Yeah.
So they don't hold any actual. They don't hold any actual power over you.
Well, by taking my tax money.
they take your tax money whether you're married or not. They actually take less of your tax money because you're married.
Well, here's the thing too, because I have some friends that aren't married and they have kids, and let's say they're able to apply for certain benefits and stuff that you can't get if you're married. You know, like they'll be able to get a ton of different things like WIC or child care or all this stuff because they claim that, oh, well, I'm a single parent.
You can get WIC and child care when you're married. Okay, Patrick,
Well, it depends on how much money you make.
You have been voted off the island. I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. What the fuck? Why? Shout out to Meg, who said, fuck you, Patrick. Thank you for the Venmo, Meg. Goddamn. Taylor, thank you for the Venmo. Said, what happens if your significant other is dying in the hospital and you can't see them because you're not, quote unquote, family? Well, he doesn't care because he doesn't want to get married. He doesn't want to be married. So he doesn't care. That's your answer. I don't know what is up today. I don't know what is up with the callers today. This is just a fucking magoosh. We got a bunch of super chats, so let's read through them real quick. And then we'll get to the next caller. Glam Pixie said, so the semen provider should start paying child support at insemination, right? That's where that would logically go. Sedalis said, so Patrick is just projecting. Got it. Sheep said, logically speaking, it's because you felt you weren't ready for a child. The child would have been born to a deadbeat dad and grown up in poverty. Abortion exists to prevent this. And also, question for caller, was the abortion your decision or her decision? Bro, to say I had an abortion was crazy. Kane, thank you for the super chat, said, oh no, a carefree life, the audacity. Lazy Slackaroo, thank you for the super chat. Sheep also said, imagine making the I wouldn't exist argument and then looking into an alternate timeline in order to see your parents happier, healthier, and better off. My mom would have had more money. Don't think of it as ending a life that hasn't existed. Think of it as preventing a life from suffering. This guy's stance, this is from Virtuous Path. This guy's stance against abortion is just a series of post hoc rationalizations. He's never contemplated the reason why he dislikes abortion. Oh, shit. All humans have the right to hold a ritual in which they are spiritually bonded as a single entity of love. These last two callers seem like people who would agree with anarcho-communism if someone framed it for them the right way. Deadass. The negatives of government interference with marriage is that it results in polygamy being illegal. I feel like I'm okay with polygamy being illegal. I feel like every instance I've seen of polygamy has had some semblance of exploitation. Mini Moon said, imagine not being able to have a say in your lifelong partner's medical emergencies, though, dude. Like, you really can't conceive why queer people would want the same rights as straight people. Come on. Liquidy Shid said, Patrick has never had a single thought about anyone but himself. Low-key, kind of true. So true, besties. So true. Okay. Ooh, cracked me back. I just cracked me back. Oh boy. Let us bring up the next guest. Coming up to stream, we have Peter. Peter is calling to talk about topic number 1, trans men and women being men and women. Peter, if you can hear me, please provide me with your age and pronouns.
Yes, I'm him, her.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm him, her.
Him, her. You're both a man and a woman?
Yes, I'm both. I'm fluid. I'm also a werewolf.
Okay. Well, werewolves don't exist.
Well, you don't know, right?
I do, actually.
Why do you know?
Why do I know that werewolves don't exist?
I'm a werewolf. I'm a him, her werewolf.
You got the whole club
So
chuckling right now, Midgie.
I become a male and a female,
Whole
and I'm
club
also
is
a werewolf.
whole club is laughing right now. Everybody's on the floor. We got another Kevin Hart over here. Peter, what's your age?
Don't laugh at me. Why?
Peter, what is your age?
I am 39.
Okay, so too old to be acting this way. Got it. Peter, I believe trans men and women are men and women. Do you disagree, and why?
I don't believe a man can become a female. There's no
Great.
way.
That's not what I asked you.
Excuse me? Go ahead.
I believe that trans men and women are men and women. Do you disagree, and why? I don't know why you even mentioned the phrase female. I didn't talk about females in my
A
position.
man is a man and a woman is a woman. It's so simple.
I agree with you. Men are men and women are women. Thank you for agreeing. Peter believes trans men and women are men and women. Everybody, he agrees.
So there's no way a woman can become a man, and there's no such thing as trans men
There are
or
tons of
trans women.
There are tons of trans men and trans
A
women.
woman
Have you
cannot
not,
become a
Peter?
man.
Peter,
Never.
Peter. Just because you've not met someone doesn't mean that person doesn't exist, right?
I met various people who think they are, but it's a psychosis within their own head that they think that they can and they will.
What?
Because it's like, as many
Peter, can you
people
please put together a
know,
coherent
in this
thought?
situation, we live in a society that tells people
We live in a
yes,
society.
you
Yep.
can't become a woman. You can't become a woman. It's like, no, bro, you're a man. You could be
Peter.
a weird, hello, ma'am, hello, ma'am. You've seen that one various times, and everybody jokes about a woman
Sorry, what?
as much as you want to. And it's like, no, you are not. Sorry,
Peter, are you lonely?
you are not. I'm sorry.
Are you lonely?
No, I have a girlfriend. She's very beautiful.
You seem lonely.
She has a big ass and everything. Oh, I'm taking a shit. That's what I am at the moment. I'm taking a shit. I'm trying to wipe my ass, but I'm you can simply be with hello.
Yeah. Goodbye, Peter. I I hate myself. I don't hate myself that much. I don't know how I'm supposed to argue with somebody who's like either clearly drunk or trolling. So Sersha, I accepted the early kick. All right, I accepted the early kick because what the fuck was that? What even? Uh, we'll just go through these other super chats. What the fuck? Sheep said polygamy is only a bad thing when it's expected or when it's illegal. If it was treated the same as normal marriage and wasn't in a patriarchal society, it would be problematic. I don't have any strong opinions on polygamy. Mizenstrol said, "I miss hello, are you here to debate?" It was a cultural moment, you know. Sheep also said maybe Peter is a werewolf, hairy, smelly, rabid, and scary. Goddamn. I don't know what you guys would expect of me from that call, truthfully. Truthfully. Not Peter calling back. No, Peter. No thanks. Not even gonna bother with that. There are no other callers though in queue, so. When's next office hours? That's a good question. I don't know. I need to set up the thing where you guys can contact me directly. Should we switch to playing games on Twitch? Should we go play some? I don't even know what I still have in my queue of the stuff you guys sent me. I like myself too much to do that to me. Sheep said, guys, I will identify as something crazy when I call in. Zoom out to thousands of Bud Lightyear clones. I don't get the joke. Why are people so concerned about whether or not Jovan is gay? They want to take me on a date, bro. Oh, Obey the Voice did drop a full release. How long is the full release? Oh my God, Halo's on sale? Where is it? What the fuck? Didn't I download it? Oh, there's a big Ubisoft sale going right now. All right, Obey the Voice. Let's see what the average playtime is. About 2 hours. Some people 4 hours. Oh, I get you, Sheep. The joke is that somebody unoriginal thinks they're original. Heard. Ging is probably the worst father. Ging is a fucking... Ging's not a dad. I mean, Gon even says Ging's not his father. W to Gon. Ugh. Okay, here's what we can do. Here's what I'm going to offer you guys. I could end morning stream now and stream again tonight, or we could play a game and then we get no streams tonight. Vote in chat right now. Vote in chat. Because then I can go play Resident Evil. And now stream tonight. I thought that was the case. Okay. I'll end now and stream again tonight. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the new look of stream, the new intro. I'll play it again on our way out. I'll play the intro one final time before we end stream. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for chilling. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll be live tonight. Either 7 or 8. Sometime around then. I'll come do a second stream. That gives me time to eat lunch, take a little nap, play some games, edit some videos, and then I'll come back around 8 o'clock tonight. See you guys then. Sorry to Andrew Wilson. I know you were in the call queue, but you didn't open that pickle jar, so we cannot take your call. See you guys later. Enjoy the opening video before we go. Bye.
Tune in most days.